Hello beautiful people and welcome back to the channel. Make sure you give this video a like and a thumbs up, and also leave a comment if you want to see more topics like this, and let's get started with the video. Since the 1960s, it's becoming even more common for artists to re-record their old recordings and songs. The Iverly brothers were the first to do this when they switched labels back in the 1960s. And since then, artists like Frank Sinatra, Def Leppard, and even DMX have re-recorded their old songs. In recent years, more and more artists are deciding to take back their narrative of controlling their own music. It's starting a spark to where controlling your own music is becoming the new norm. Modern days examples of this is with JoJo and Taylor Swift. And then you have artists nowadays who just want to re-record their songs just for fun and just for the entertainment of their fans. In today's video, we'll be discussing the importance of re-recording old songs and how does it affect the artists and their motives, and how does it also affect their ownership of their music, specifically from JoJo, Taylor Swift, and also Aly and AJ. So let's get into the video. I want to start off with JoJo. She's the modern day example of what it's like to re-record your albums due to label disagreements. JoJo has been around since the early 2000s. She's always been a main singer and a powerful vocalist. When she first came out, everyone was astonished by this little girl with this big voice. With her smash hit like Leave, Get Out, and Little Too Late, she still is the youngest person ever to receive a #1 on the Hot 100 Billboard charts. But after 2 albums, her record label slowly started to diminish, and the executives there were not in her favor at all. They were trying to alter her and change her and control her, to where they even owned her voice, and she wasn't able to put out any music. Her label didn't have a distribution deal, which meant that all of her songs were not able to stream on streaming platforms, and that decreased the amount of revenue that could be going into her pockets. Back in July 2013, JoJo had filed a lawsuit against her label, Blackground Records, and the family for irreparable damages to her professional career. As a minor, you can't sign a contract that's at least more than 7 years under New York state law. And thus, the claims that her contract was signed, and thus that the contract that she had signed back in 2004, her deal should have been expired in 2011. On December 2013, JoJo and Blackground's attorney agreed to drop the case, and both parties came to an agreement outside of court. And then in January 2014, JoJo was released from her multi-year battle with the old record label, and later she announced that she was signed to a new label with Atlantic Records. From then on, she was able to release new music. From then, she had released her extended play, Love Joe, and then eventually she released her 2016 album, Mad Love. Being bounded in that type of environment and withheld from doing the thing that you love eventually made JoJo realize that she had to take back control, and now she does. She has her own label now, and she releases her music through the way that she wants to release it. With the new album, after leaving Atlantic Records, she started her own label called Clover Music. And under Clover Music is where she re-released her first 2 albums and also some singles that were not able to be on digital platforms. It also includes her most recent album, Good to Know, and will include any future projects that she decides to do. JoJo is just an example of being tied in a tough situation shouldn't keep you down, and that you should always fight in order to be free. She took that lesson very seriously, and now she has her own label. I guess you can kind of say that after JoJo kind of did this, Taylor decided to follow it in the same pursuit. Taylor Swift has always been a woman of her word, and she's always wanted to have fully control over her music. And that should be true because she's earned it. And one of the things that she wanted was her masters. Now, she started with a small label when she was younger, back when she started in country music, and this was Big Machine Records. She did 6 albums with them. She fulfilled her contract. However, after she has left Big Machine Records. A mega manager for Justin Bieber, Demi Lovato, Ariana Grande decided to buy Taylor Swift's masters from Big Machine Records, $300 million, and this includes the rights to Taylor Swift's first 6 albums. She definitely didn't like this because she was under the impression that after fulfilling her contractual agreements, that she was able to get her masters from her previous 6 albums. After departing Big Machine Records, she left and she signed with Republic and Universal Group. Last year, once he did buy Taylor Swift's rights to her first 6 albums, she wanted to buy it from him and see if they can partner, but that didn't turn out so good. Also, in the beginning of this year, Scooter Braun decides to sell it over and hand it off to a different company called the Shamrock Capital Content Fund. And this definitely didn't go over well again. Taylor stating, "This was the second time a music had been sold without my knowledge. The letter told me that they wanted to reach out before the sale to let me know, but that Scooter Braun had required that they make no contact with me or my team, or the deal will be off. As soon as we started communication with Shamrock, I learned that under their terms, Scooter Braun will continue to profit off my old musical catalog for many years. I was hopeful and open to the possibility of a partnership with Shamrock, but Scooter Braun's participation is a non-starter for me." Now this was a form of bullying, and also Scooter Braun didn't even allow her to see the numbers to purchase her masters until she signed a contract that would permit her from saying anything bad about it. Now I understand that the music industry can be quite cruel, and then there's money involved, and money does talk. But at this point, Scooter Braun is just bullying Taylor and just trying to take away her assets and what's most valuable to her. So in good Taylor Swift fashion, she decided to take back that narrative and have her control of her music again by re-recording and re-releasing her old albums. And now she's going to start with the first one. And now we have the first out of the many re-recorded albums that she'll do, Fearless, Taylor's version, and it also has the original tracks, but it also includes 6 new tracks that's never been heard from her vault. And this is just the first of the many albums that's going to come that will be under her control and that she can use. By doing this, it would depreciate the value of her old recordings, and you already know that her fans and the people that really support her will only listen to the ones that she re-recorded. Now for my last example, I want to talk about Aly and AJ. Now we all know Aly and AJ from back in the good old Disney Golden Era days in 2007 when they were hot and they were on cowbells. But in recent years, they've came back together as a group. One of their biggest songs, the potential breakup song, has re-emerged because of TikTok and how people from younger audiences are now using it and love the song too. Back in December 2020, they decided to re-record the potential breakup song and add explicit words to it to reach a whole new audience and to also reach the older audience who is now older and grown now. With AJ stating, "There were a couple of cities where we would play the song twice, literally back to back because people were loving it so much, which we never do with any song. We just found it so funny that people were so hyped over it. We were like, we're gonna play it again, and then people would go crazy. I didn't think we did all of the changes. I just said my birthday." And then AJ saying, "There was one guy in particular on TikTok not long ago who was like, can you guys just please swear in the song? And I remember that being the trigger where Aly and I were like, oh, we should record this with explicit lyrics." He kind of inspired that. Aly saying, "That's right." He was like, "I know y'all have said before." Thus, the explicit version of the potential breakup song was born. Rather, it's going through legal battles and having accessibility to your music for you and your fans, or rather you just wanting to own your masters and take control of your narrative in your songs, or even just doing a re-recording for fun and adding some things to spice it up. These are just some of the modern day examples of re-recording. And I believe that we're going to see a little bit more of this and probably even a bigger shift of people re-recording their songs. As you can all see, artists who are trapped and have legal issues or even just want to release stuff just for fun artists want to take more control of their music and they want to hold that narrative and have more control. This is why you see artists always exemplifying to younger artists to always take a look at your paperwork and to always be in control. And now you have artists who are going to be independent now and who also have platforms to where they can share their music to the world and have more freedom and just do what they want to do with their music because they worked hard for it. So I want to know what you guys think about it and what you guys think about artists re-releasing their music and re-releasing their recordings. And what do you think that artists should do to deviate from labels having their music and being in the bind and being in legal trouble and having to go through that? I want to know what you think about JoJo, what you think about Taylor Swift, or even what you think about Aly and AJ re-recording their songs. And who else do you think that should re-record their music? So just leave me a comment in the comments below, and I really want to hear from you guys. So I hope to see you guys soon, and have a good day. All right, bye.